What's going on, guys? Balkan Architect here, and in today's tutorial I'm going to be talking about the difference between model in place components and in place massing in Revit. So these are these two different tools when it comes to working in Revit that kind of sound similar but are, well, completely different. So I get this question quite often in the comments or in emails. What is the difference between these two? I guess because they sound the same, people are not really sure what the difference is, so I decided to create a tutorial where I'm going to give you a basic explanation of these two tools. Now, when it comes to in-place components or model-in-place component families, these are part of the family editor, and I actually have a complete course on the family editor. If you're interested, it's going to be linked just below the video in the description. On my website, you can access that course, and it gives you a whole in-depth approach to creating all sorts of families, parametric families in Revit. And then the massing, the in-place massing, or the massing environment in Revit, is yet a completely new design environment. So for massing in Revit, it's quite advanced, and I'm just going to be covering the basics here just to give you a basic understanding. But again, if you're interested in a more in-depth approach, I have a completely different course on that topic where I show you how can you create all sorts of different unusual and amazing shapes in Revit using this work environment. So if you're interested, that's going to be a second link in the description just below the video, so make sure to check it out. Okay, so without any further ado, let's get straight into Revit.
And here we are in Revit. So let's immediately go here into models and then start a new model. And for the template, I'm just going to be using the Balkan Architect template, the custom template, the metric version. If you're interested in getting this template, you can find it on my website, balkanarchitect.com. And I'm also going to leave a link to that in the description. You can find the metric as well as the imperial version of this template alongside some educational material. Okay, so I'm just going to click OK here, and that's going to open up Revit. And as soon as Revit opens up, let's first take a look at the visibility settings for in-place components and in-place massing. And also, before we get into that, let's see where those two are located. So first, for the in-place components, they're located here at the component tool. And if we just expand that tool, here we have the model in place. Now, when you go to model in place, you're going to notice that if you click on this, Revit is going to give you this prompt where it's basically asking you which category is the family going to be in. So here we have all of the kind of the basic Revit categories. So you can choose casework, ceilings, columns, doors, and etc., etc. So you have many different options which you can choose, and if you're not really sure what to go with, then the generic model is probably the best option. So I'm just going to choose the generic model for this one. Click OK. Generic models 1. Revit is just going to give you the name by the category and then add number 1 here. Now I'm just going to click OK, and that's going to open up kind of the sketch mode or the family editor. You can see that the whole ribbon has changed. Instead of the architecture and structure and systems tab, we have the create tab, and we're going to be talking about these tools a little bit later on, but for now let's just create a simple extrusion here. So I'm just going to place a simple rectangle here, hit finish, and then finish the edit mode. So if we go here to the 3D view, as you can see here, we have just a simple rectangle in the middle of the screen. We can actually change it a little bit using these grip points, but there we go. We have a simple in-place component created. Now let's take a look at creating in-place massing. So for that, you have to navigate here to the massing site, and then before we go to here, in-place mass, which is going to allow you to create that in-place mass, we have to turn on the show mass mode. So here we have the show mass by view settings, and you can turn this on, and that's going to allow you to actually see that mass inside of your model. So if this is turned off, the massing is going to be invisible. So when you go here to in-place mass, it's going to give you again the same option to choose the name of the mass, but unlike the in-place component, it's not going to allow you to choose the category. The category is going to be massing, and you can't really change that. So let's then click OK, and again the whole ribbon changes, the tools change, and instead of that Architecture, Structure, Systems tab, we get the Create tab, and the tools are a little bit different. Well, they're actually quite a bit different than the in-place component, and again we're going to be comparing those two a bit later on. But for now, let's create a simple extrusion by placing a rectangle just like this. You go to modify, you select that rectangle, and you turn it into a form just like this, and then we can finish that mass. So this is basically what happens. You can see that these appear differently just because by default the generic model is going to have that default material, and a mass by default is going to have the default mass material, which is kind of transparent like this. So that's going to be the difference in the material unless you set up the material. Of course, you can go here to the mass, go to Edit in Place, and then you can select this whole shape, and then here you can play around with the material setting. You can open up the material browser, search for whatever you want to apply here, maybe brick, hit finish, and there we go. Now we have a brick mass. So now a really important thing when it comes to these masses in Revit is going to be that visibility setting. So when you go here to Masking Insight, and if you just turn off the Show Mass mode, this is going to disappear. So it doesn't matter that the material has been set to brick, as long as it's a mass by category, it is going to disappear when we turn off the Show Mass mode. Now, of course, you can just keep it turned on and there is no problem, but that's just something that's important to mention at this point. Moving on, one important thing to mention as well is when you go here to the component option, or if you select the component and go into Edit in Place, you can change the category of that component at any point. So here you can see that the family is going to be set at generic models. That means that this component is set to that category, but you can always go here to Family Category and Parameters, and you can change this to something different. Now you can see we have all of these different options, and we also have a massing option, but it's going to say that changing to or from the mass category is prohibited. So we can create a mass inside of the component in-place component, but we cannot change the category to mass later on. We can change it to furniture, for example, click OK. Now it's going to say furniture, and when we finish the edit mode, here if I select this, it's going to say furniture instead of generic model. And if you want to create a mass using the in-place component, you can go here to component, model in place, and then if you choose the mass here beforehand and click OK, it's going to allow you to create a mass, and this is now going to be called mass 2. So if I just create something here, there we go, extend it a little bit, hit finish, there we go. Now we have a new mass, and this mass is going to behave exactly as this one, so it doesn't matter because it wasn't created here using in-place mass, and it was created as an in-place component that was set to the massing category. It's going to behave exactly the same. The tools are the same, and also if you go here to Masking Insight and turn off Show Mass, that is going to disappear. So as you can see, the category will control the way that the visibility will behave. Okay, now we're going to be just turning back the show mass on, and let's now examine some of the behavior that's similar between in-place components and in-place massing. So if I select this in-place component, it's going to give me the option to play around with some of the dimensions. Now, of course, keep in mind that this will work only with simple forms such as cubes like this, and if you have something a bit more complex, you're probably going to be better off going to Edit in Place and then playing around with that. The same option we have here for the massing, so we can play around with that, and same thing goes for this one as well. But for example, if we want to change the diameter, we have to go here to Edit in Place. Now, something that's the main difference between the massing and generic models, apart from that option where these two disappear when we turn off Show Mass, is the fact that we can use massing in order to apply different system families to them. So, for example, here we have this cylinder. If I go here to the roof by face, I can place a roof here on top of this. Also, I can place a wall on one of these sides, and then I can place a curtain system on the other side. Now, something to keep in mind is now, even if I turn off the show mass, these elements will stay there. But if I want to try to do that with this generic model, it's simply not going to allow me to highlight those elements, so it's just not going to work. Now let me just get rid of this. So that's the main difference, and in most cases you're just going to be using the massing environment in order to create that mass, so you can apply some materials to that. Now moving on, let's now explore where these appear apart from here in the model, and that is inside of the families folder. So here in the project browser, if I scroll down here, we have the families node, and if I expand that, for example, if we search for mass, as you can see, these two will appear, mass 1 and mass 2. This is mass 1. This is mass 2. Also, this was saved as a generic model, if I remember, generic models 1. And if we search here for the category, which is, we have moved it to the furniture category. So if I expand that, here we have that generic models 1, and this is referring to this cube. So these will appear over here in the project browser. Now, something else to note when it comes to these two different ways of creating elements is that you can actually include parameters for both of these. So, for example, if I select this cube and then go here into Edit in Place, I can use the Dimension tool, align dimension to maybe dimension this from side to side, add the dimension here, and then I can select the dimension and assign a parameter. So I can just click here, make sure that it says, I don't know, length. I can make it an instance parameter, for example, click OK, hit finish, and now this will keep that parameter. So I can go here and fine-tune the length of this object. So I can say 10, apply, and now it's going to be 10 meters long. And we can use the same thing here for the massing environment. I can go to Edit in Place, add a dimension that goes from here to here, and go here and assign create a parameter, call this one length, and I'm going to give it an instance parameter just because by assigning it to an instance parameter, when we select this, it's going to appear over here. If it was a type parameter, it would be here in the edit type, but that's just one step longer for something that's not really that important in this particular demonstration. So we can play around here, type in 5, enter, and now it's smaller. Now let's take a little look at how these tools for creating both in-place components and in-place massing work. So I'm just going to select this component, go to Edit in Place, and there on the Create tab we just have a bunch of form tools. So we can create extrusions, blends, revolves, sweeps, swept blends, and then void versions of those same forms. We also have some model lines and components, and that's pretty much it. You can use these tools in order to create elements, but you're kind of limited in the functionality of these tools. You're not going to be able to create any shape that you might want using these tools. It works very well when it comes to kind of basic architecture elements, but if you're trying to create something like, I don't know, some cool looking weird chair, it's going to be quite difficult to use only these tools in order to create that form. Now let me just cancel out of that. Now on the other hand, for the in-place massing here, I'm just going to go here to Edit in Place. Here the tools are quite different. They give you a lot more functionality and versatility, and something important to note here, by using these tools you can actually create just surfaces. So for example, if I place a line here and then select that line and go to create form, I can create just a surface. So I can go here into finish, and there we go. Now we have just a surface that I can use, and I don't have that ability with the component tool. So this is a lot more complicated, and again, as I said, if you're interested in the now let's cancel the changes. Oops, let's actually save the changes. If you're actually interested in learning more about these tools, I have a whole course on the family editor where I kind of take the extra time to explain everything in depth. It's quite long and extensive, and I show you how to create different types of Revit families, parametric families, and so on. And for massing also, I have a different course where I explain that. If it's not out currently on my website, it will be out soon in like a week or so, so be on the lookout for that. So if you're interested in taking kind of a more advanced approach, there I explain everything, and then this is just a kind of quick rundown of all of these tools. Now, one really important thing that I would like to kind of mention that I find to be really useful and really important when it comes to working with these elements, especially in-place components, and that is the way that in-place components can affect existing system families or component families. So, for example, if I go here to architecture and place a wall just like that, if I go into the component tool, go to model in place, and then choose the category of a wall and click OK, call it walls 1, that's okay. What this allows me to do is to now make edits to this wall. So let me show you. I can go here to perhaps void forms, void extrusion. I can set the work plane, go to pick a plane, click OK, select it to here. And then what I can do is simply go and play around. So for example, I can create an arc like that, maybe use some lines to go towards the outside, just like this, hit finish, and I can now extend this along maybe halfway along the length of this wall. And if I just go here to cut components, select the wall, and then select this void, as you can see that the void is going to affect the wall. So if I go finish, there we go. Now the wall has this kind of odd chamfered edge at the top. So if you select the same category of an element that you want to edit using voids, you can use in-place components as voids in order to create unique types of walls or unique openings when it comes to walls in Revit. Okay, so that's pretty much it for this video, for this little comparison between the in-place models and in-place components and mass in-place option. I hope you have learned something new, and again, if you're interested in learning more about this, I have 2 really extensive courses on my website at balkanarchitect.com, so make sure to check it out. Okay, so that's pretty much it for this tutorial. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, make sure to like and share this video, and I'll be back with another Balkan Architect tutorial in a few days. Thank you for watching, and have a nice day.